combining visualizations through overlays, we can also combine them through what's called the dual axis. So I've created a new worksheet called Hillsborough. I've added parameter to it and set the window size to 5. Now I'll drag event date from Hillsborough into columns card, change it again to day, take the object ID from Hillsborough, add all members, change the aggregation method to count, and then add the moving average for Hillsborough as well. So I now get two different charts, one showing the actual daily cases and the other one showing the moving average. Well, what I can now do to combine them is to go to the left one, the right one rather, in the rows card, and then select dual axis. And that will combine them into a single chart. Now, the problem with this one is that although we're measuring kind of the same thing, namely the number of cases, in one case the actual daily cases, in another case the average cases, the fact that the axes have different measures is confusing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the axis, again the rightmost axis, and then select synchronize dual axes. And you see what happens. I had animation still on. We now have the same axis on both sides. You don't always want to do that, but in this particular case, that makes sense. I'm now going to change the axes. So this one says count of object ID. I just want to make that daily number of cases. And this one says moving average. Since we know it's Hillsborough, we can just change this to moving average. And then we'll make some changes in the legend as well. So first, I'm going to edit the title. And since measure names doesn't give me any information, I will just delete it. And then I will change by right-clicking on each of these. I can edit an alias. You can't quite see it, but I'm going to make that daily number of cases. To actually reflect what's on the axis, and do the same for this one here. Edit alias and change this just to moving average. So this looks good, except that the lines, to my view, overlap too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the way in which you map the daily cases by changing the mark type from a line to a bar. So we now get this. And then, because I don't particularly like the color of the moving average line, I want it to stand out even more. I'm going to do edit colors in the legend, select moving average, and then make that red. And since I already like the way in which it decided to use kind of two colors for the bar chart, I'm going to leave that alone.